Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fandi Dahi from Thailand, currently studying at Bukhari International University, Bachelor of Elementary Education, under School of Education and Human Sciences. This paper worked together with Madam Eni Shahida Jamaluddin, lecturer School of Education and Human Sciences, under the topic The Challenges of Learning English During the Unrest Situation Among Upper Secondary School Students, a case study in Pattani Province, Thailand. Okay, the abstract of this study is to explore the challenges and limitations of English language learning in the southern province of Pattani, Thailand, with a specific focus on upper secondary school students. The study also examines the current pedagogical approaches to English teaching and how other situations and violence issues can impact student ability to become competent English users. And also the study find the study find that while English language teaching in Thailand has improved over the years, but there are still challenges that can limit student ability to become fully competent English users. These challenges may include difficulty to find a teacher with efficient skill. Students believe that it's difficult to obtain the environment surrounding the student does not allow them to speak English, and the students does not associate with it very often in their day-to-day life. The conclusion of this study suggests that the situation of English language teaching in Pattani and Thailand is complex and multifaceted, and more efforts should be made to improve access to education and provide a safe and source learning environment to students. The introductions of the study or background of the study. Let's look to the importance of learning English Thailand. English is one of the most important language and international foreign language because most information is presented through the medium of English. Therefore, English is an important tool for human development. According to the basics education curriculum in Thailand include knowledge management for X group of learning subjects, one of which is foreign language. Foreign language, particularly English, are of great importance in Thailand's day-to-day role as an international language used for global communication and for engaging with the ASEAN community. And learning a foreign language such as English helps strengthen the foundation of humanity and foster creative thinking and work potential. There is a need for Thailand to adapt English teaching method to Thai culture in order to ensure successful language education as suggested by Pisces Bodibo 2011. Okay, let's look for the result. English result test in Thailand. Okay. Thailand has relatively low average proficiency level in foreign language, especially in English. We can realize that in according to the report of the EF English Provincial Index 2021, Thailand ranks 74 out of 100 country and region with a score of 47.79, which is considered a low proficiency level. The report also highlights that Thailand efforts to improve English language skill. Thailand is focusing on improving the English language skills of young people and developing a structured English learning program. To address the low English proficiency and improve education management in the three southern borders province, promoting education, religions, language, art, culture, and local history has been identified as important measure. The problem statements of this paper, the violence and education in three southern Thailand. Southern Thailand has a historical of conflicts and political unrest impacting the education system in the region. School has been targeted, leading to the displacement of students and teaching, and the interruption of education due to violence. Research by Moiwa and Wagner 2015 indicates a correlation between the unequal distribution of education and the occurrence of conflicts in the three southern regions of Thailand. Conflict has further disrupted the education system by causing students to avoid classes due to the security concerns and forcing temporary school closures. This has resulted in a negative impact on the quality of education, as students miss out on important learning opportunities and face challenges in catching up. And the situation does not support the uses of English. The culture in the three southern border province is another problem that affects the development of English language skill, and case students in this area to develop slowly, and the English skill are not comparable to those in other areas. In the three southern border provinces of Thailand, the development of English language proficiency is hindered by cultural faster factors, resulting is lower progress and lower proficiency compared to other areas. The predominant use of Malay as the local language and Arabic for Quran studies due to the Islamic religion's prominence in the regions lead educational instruction to prioritize education in three languages over English. Many parents view English is as a language associated with non-Muslim, resulting in a lack of motivation for their children to learn it. And also, the private school is in the area, however, offer classes in English, Arabic, and Malay, aiming to provide multilingual competence to students. However, this approach often leads to rote learning and lack of confidence in using the language for communication in real-life situations. Okay, for the objective and research questions of this paper, the study aims to achieve following objectives. First, to access student challenge and input about the issue and barrier they face while learning English. Second, to examine the unrest scenario in three southern Thai provinces impact English language learning. And last one, to explore the concept and development of English learning in unrest scenario in three southern Thailands. And for the research questions, what are the students' challenge while learning English during the content of violence unrest scenario? And second one is how far do students feel the unrest scenario in three southern Thai provinces impact English language learning? And the last one is the student view of concept and development of English learning in the context of violence unrest related events. And for significance of the study focused on upper secondary education in Pattani province. This study makes an important contribution to understand the perspectives and experience and difficulties of students in three southern provinces of Thailand, where English is thus amidst unrest. It illustrates how an unrest situation affects students in their behavior and their contribution in learning to perform well academically for school. Okay, for the literature review of this paper, for the first one is the challenges of studying English in Thailand. Learning English in Thailand can present a number of challenges. One of the challenges is the lack of exposure to the language in everyday life. Thai being the dominant language mean that English is not frequently encountered. Mean that in Thailand, Thai language is the official language. Most of the people or the population use Thai for communications, and also the people that's not familiar with the English is mean they don't use the English in their daily life. According to the Bupa 2012, research students have insufficient English proficiency before formal English instruction begins. And for the second, unrest issue in the three southern border province. When we talk about the three southern border province, the first thing that come to my mind is the other situations. The other situation in the three southern border province of Thailand lead to frequent school interruptions, with teaching and learning being halted due to the safety concerns during the violent incidents, and school in high risk high-risk area often have to close, resulting in inadequate teaching time and disruption of lesson plan, impacting student ability to keep up with their studies. In the year 2007, many schools had to close because of the impact. Report by Marvin 2007 and UNICEF 2014. And also other situations such as the burning and bombing school and threatening the teacher. Uh, it can be effects with over 1 million students unable to study continuously due to school distractions. And respond to the situation, some Muslim parents feel compelled to send their children to school as a report by Human Rights Watch in UNICEF in 2007 and 2010 respectively. Okay, for the next, lack of teacher with direct English teaching experience. According to the report in 2019, report by the Bangkok Post, it was highlighted that the security situation in Pattani province has posed significant challenges in recruiting and retaining qualified teachers, especially for English language instructions. And also from Tirapon, Tanakamdi, in 2021, the severity of the problem has even driven teaching personnel to leave their position in Pattani and seek teaching opportunity somewhere else. So it means that many teachers that teaching English leave their position and find the opportunity from uh, other parts in Thailand, except Pattani and three southern border provinces. And the primary reason for this shortage is the security concern to the teachers. And also the last one is many English teachers in Thailand may not have the necessary qualification or training to teach the language effectively. They also have the teacher teach English in three southern, but most of the teacher they don't have enough qualifications or training about the English. Okay. For research method of this study, simple of the study for the purpose of this research, we required three kids from three students from an upper secondary school in Pattani, which is located in Thailand. They come from a range of different academic programs, such as the Science Maths program or SMP, and Art Language program ALP, and the Arts Math programs AMP. For instruction of the interview sections, the research used a qualitative approach for this study and used semi-structured interview as instrument for the qualitative techniques. Okay, next. Okay, for the result and finding of the research. For the finding ones, with the question ones finding challenge while learning English during the contents of violence and unresolved events. For the respondent A, say that due to the situation, it's difficult to find a teacher with essential skill. It's also near impossible to practice English because there are no foreigner to speak to. And the respondent B say that I've seen that the violence and arrest can affect student ability to learn. Sometimes our teacher don't show up because they affect you. And for the respondent C, learning English should be hybrid system, not only in the classroom, but teachers should lead students to real native speaker. But uh, but when encountering violence incident that occur frequently, it's difficult to meet native speaker because they do not there to travel. To summarize, finding ones, the ongoing unrest situation in Thailand profoundly affected various aspects of daily life, especially in education. Some respondents indicate that there is a shortage of teachers is a major issue in the regions attributed to safety concerns and difficulties in attracting qualified educators. Okay, let's look for the finding two. The impact of violence and unrest-related happenings in three southern Thai provinces is impacting the learning of English. For the respondents, it say that it's discouraging for English learners to study when their lives are threatened. And for the respondents B, say that personally, I think I have more motivation to learn English because of getting the news about the situation in various aspects, especially the foreign news. And also for the last respondent said that when there was a violent incident, the student and the teacher were not conscious enough to send and receive information, resulting in poor English learning. To summarize for finding two, some students say that indicate that the prevailing violence and instability in the regions creates obstacles and safety concern that the student from attending school and discouraging the pursuit of education. Okay, for the last finding is students' perspective on the concept and development of English language learning in the context of safety concern related to violence and unrest. For the respondents, A said that I believe that safety concerns should be addressed first, and there have been times when I feel uneasy or scared when traveling to study and it's difficult to focus on learning English. I think it's important for school to take these concerns seriously and provide a safe environment for their students. For respondent B, said that the safety of students' life should be guaranteed, no matter who a person is. All humans need to prove their safety in their life. And for the last respondent said that with frequent violent incidents like this, we can learn English from other channels that don't have to go out of the house, such as learning English through listening to YouTube channels, or if in the serve situations, some school may have to be closed, so students must study online. I think that learning English is not difficult if we know study channels. For the summaries of the finding trees, the student reflected that before the development of learning English, the government should develop safety for students first. The safety of students and their ability to learn in a safe and source environment should be a top priority. The government and other organizations have the responsibility to ensure that school and other educational facilities are safe place for students and teachers. Students said that it's important to note that the situation in Pattani is complex and multifaceted, and that is difficult to predict the future certainty with future certainty. And nevertheless, there are many methods available for learning English that do not involve stepping outside, such as using the online resources, even if these alternatives might not be able to take the place of traditional in-person section, they may be nonetheless present students with great possibilities to learn English and enhance their linguistics ability. For the implications of this research, this study is significant contribution to comprehending the perspectives, experience, and challenges faced by students in three southern provinces of Thailand, where English is thus amidst ongoing unrest. It shed light on how the prevalent unrest impacts student behavior and academic performance, and highlighting these difficulties they encounter in their learning journey. Moreover, the research offers valuable insights into students' reaction and reflections on studying English amidst violence and instability in the three southern Thai provinces. And for the limitation and future research directions, this study utilized qualitative methods and only focus on the three respondents. Future research are suggested to replicate the same method to a longer number of respondents to evaluate the findings. Based on our current findings, we also recommend the educator to review the English syllabus in Thailand. For the conclusions of the research, the conclusion will, according to the study's findings on the challenges faced by upper secondary school students in Pattani, Thailand, is conclude that despite difficulties and distractions caused by the other situation, students demonstrated great effort and commitment in learning English. However, they may recognize that The ongoing unrest would have significant implications for their future English learning. Attending traditional in-person English classes pose difficulties due to the violence and unrest situations. Okay, last but not least for me, safety in the most takes of all. Without senses of safety, no growth can take place. Thank you for watching my presentations. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.